Today our topic of discussion is human gene therapy. Human gene therapy is basically a process in which the different type of diseases which are occurring due to some genes are cured through therapy. That means manipulation in the gene can lead to cure of some important diseases. Okay, so uh, next, coming to the each of the what are the particular definition of your gene therapy, we will be discussing in the later slides. Okay, now introduction. Gene therapy is the introduction of genes into existing cells to prevent or cure a wide range of diseases. Okay, so what is happening when you are introducing a gene into existing cells to prevent, cure a wide range of disease? Okay, uh, a wide range of disease is cured by introduction of a new gene into a existing one. It is a technique for correcting defective genes responsible for disease development. Okay, so it is a technique for correcting defective genes responsible for disease development. That means when you are introducing some gene which is responsible for disease development, they are known as correcting the gene responsible for disease development is known as gene therapy. Now, the first approved gene therapy experiment was conducted in September 14, 1990 in US, when Ashanti De Silva was treated for ADA-SCID. Okay, the patient name is Ashanti De Silva, and he was treated and he was suffering from ADA-SCID. SCID is basically immunodeficiency syndrome. So this disease is a single gene disorder. The particular gene has been corrected by gene therapy, and the first human treatment was done in 1990. Okay. Now, types of gene therapy. Gene therapy are of two types: somatic cell gene therapy, germ-line cell gene therapy. Okay. Somatic cell means, you can understand from the term itself, when therapeutic genes are transferred to somatic cells, and then they are called somatic. Somatic one means the genes other than the reproductive genes, like your gametes, your sexual organ related diseases. Beside those cells, all other cells are known as the your somatic cells. Okay, now when genes are being introduced into the germ cells, they are called germ cell line therapy. Introduction of genes into bone marrow, blood, skin cell, etc. But here the genes are being introduced into eggs and sperms. Okay, and will not be inherited later. Obviously, somatic cells are not carrying hereditary symbols, so somatic these characters are not being transferred from one generation to another. It is heritable and passed on to later generations, as the germline cells is responsible for carrying the inheritable traits. So the it can be passed from one generation to another. At present, all research is directed to correct genetic defects in somatic cells. So there are many researches going on to correct genetic diseases which is causing defect in the somatic cells. Okay, now for safety, ethical and technical reason, it is not being attempted yet present. So germline cell therapy gene therapy is not that much popular as compared to somatic cell gene therapy, because in germline cell therapy, the correction you are doing in the genes will move on to the next generation. So this may cause some problem in the cells. So this type of germline cell gene therapy is not that much in use. Okay, so this is the schematic diagram in approaches in gene therapy. See, in vivo gene therapy and ex vivo gene therapy. In vivo means within the cell, and ex vivo means from the external, some cells are used. Okay, so suppose this is the therapeutic gene, and the therapeutic gene is packaged into a delivery vehicle such as a retrovirus. Okay, and suppose your gene, the corrected gene is being introduced into a vector, that it can be a retro vector, and that vector is being introduced to the body of the human, the patient. Okay, and what happens, suppose it may target to the particular liver. But what is happening in ex vivo? Therapeutic gene is packaged into a delivery vehicle such as retrovirus and they introduced into the cell. Now ex vivo is not direct application of the vector into the cell. In vivo, see, the vector is being directly introduced to the body of the organism. But in ex vivo, what is happening? The particular type of a vector is being added to the adult stem cells are isolated and propagated in the laboratory. Now the stem cells from the humans are taken and into that the treatment cells are added. Thus, when a particular viral vector containing the therapeutic gene is introduced directly into the body, known as in vivo. When it is not directly injected into the body, it is present in the adult stem cells. It is allowed to react with the adult stem cells in outside environment. It is known as the ex vivo. Now, when these two cells are treated, the genetically modified cells are introduced into the patient. So, what is happening when the cells are fully changed and the cells are corrected? That corrected cells are introduced into the body of the human. So, this is the basic difference between in vivo and ex vivo. These are two modes of uh, gene therapy introduction in the human body. Okay. Now, ex vivo gene therapy. What are the steps for ex vivo gene therapy? How you can do it? The first step is isolate cells with genetic defect from the patient. So, you have to isolate the cell from the disease patient which is having some problem. Now, the cells is grown in the culture. Okay, the cells are growing in the culture, so you have to keep some media supplement. As you are keeping the cell outside of the body, you have to provide some media. So the cells are growing in the culture. Introduce the therapeutic gene, select genetically corrected cells, and grow transplant the modified cell into the patient. Okay. So grow the cells after the growing of the cell. When the therapeutic genes are introduced, see here the cells are growing. The adult cells, this is the cell which is responsible for the disease. It is isolated and grown in the media, and the therapeutic gene is introduced into this media. Now the third step, select genetically corrected cells. Okay, so you have to select which cells are genetically correct, and then you have to transfer this cell into the human body. Now see the last point, transplant the modified cells into the patient. Okay, so these are the steps of ex vivo gene therapy. Okay, example of ex vivo gene therapy. What are the examples? As I have that if name of the person just few slides back, I told you who is the first patient for application of gene therapy in the 1990. The patient was suffering from ADA-SCID. The first gene therapy was correct deficiency syndrome of ADA, that is adenosine deaminase. So the person was suffering from deficiency of ADA enzyme, and it was corrected by introduction of some gene producing ADA enzyme performed on a 4-year old girl, Ashanti De Silva. Okay, the experiment was conducted on a human that is 4-year old, and she was suffering from SCID, that is severe combined immunodeficiency syndrome. This is the name of the disease caused due to defective gene coding for ADA. So the defective production of ADA, that is adenosine deaminase, the formation of different type of gene are occurring. Okay, different type of genetic problems are arising from the SCID. Okay, deoxyadenosine accumulates and destroys T lymphocytes. Okay, deoxyadenosine accumulates and destroys T lymphocytes. Okay, now disrupts immunity, suffer from infection, disease, and die at young age. Okay, what are the uh, problem of disrupts immunity, suffer from infection disease? These are the symptoms of this disease. What is happening? What is SCID? SCID is occurring. It disrupts the immunity, and some infection disease occurs, and the person dies at young age. Okay. So now these are the steps of how they have conducted that experiment on the 4-year-old girl. Okay, bacterium carrying plasmid with clone normal human ADA gene. See, this is the bacteria containing the human ADA gene. Okay, this is human ADA gene. Now this gene genetically disabled retrovirus. Now this gene is being cloned into a phage vector, basically retrovirus vector, cloned ADA gene incorporated into the virus. Now this is the virus containing the gene. Now this is the T cell with disabled ADA gene isolated from SCID patient. That means this is the cell we are getting from the 4-year-old girl. Okay, that girl cells were taking, that cells were basically T cells with ADA dysfunction. That means as the ADA is not correctly formed, so that the disabled, I mean problematic gene of the patient is taken, and the this retrovirus infects T cell transferred ADA gene to cells. So what happens? This retrovirus transfers the gene of interest, that your ADA gene, into the cell. Now this, see, the blue portion has entered the cell. Now this cell cultures are grown in culture to ensure ADA gene is active. So first of all, you have to grow the engineered cells outside the body. Then genetically altered cells are implanted to produce ADA. So genetically improved cells are introduced to the body of the organism. Okay, so this is the whole experiment conducted for the first time for the treatment of using genetic gene therapy. Now, in vivo gene therapy. In vivo means directly you are adding the your gene of interest into the body, carried out by viral or non-viral vector systems. That means it can be also done through some viral vectors. It can be only possible in patients where individual cells cannot be cultured in vitro in sufficient number. Okay, when you see, ex vivo is always better than in vivo, because in ex vivo you are confirming the genetic, selecting the genetically improved cells and introducing into the body. But the problem you are facing in vivo is that you are directly injecting the cell into the body. So what is why you have to do for this type of therapy? Because in some cases you cannot collect the infected cells from the diseased person. See, the disease individual cells cannot be cultured in sufficient number. In vivo gene transfer is necessary when cultured cells cannot be re-implanted in patients effectively. Okay, in vivo gene transfer is necessary when cultured cells cannot be replanted in patients effectively. When you cannot infect the person correctly, then also this type of implantations are done. Okay. Now, example of in vivo, we have already discussed about in vitro. In vivo, what happens in vivo? Cystic fibrosis transmembrane regulator, CFTR. So the person who is suffering from the disease like CFTR, that is cystic fibrosis transmembrane regulator, in the absence of CFTR, chloride ions concentrate within the cells and it withdraws water from the surrounding. So what is the symptom of this disease? In CFTR, chloride ions are absent, concentrated within the cells, and water draws water from the surrounding. So this leads to, in cystic fibrosis, what happens? A sticky mucus-like thing is formed inside the lungs and it gets swelled. Treated by in vivo replacement of defective gene by adenovirus vector. So what is happening? In vivo transfer of adenovirus vector into the diseased person has been reported to be cured when CFTR is affected to the disease. Okay, now the next portion, this is the description of in vivo gene therapy. In this, what happens, a normal human gene cloned in bacterium is transferred to the vector. Now this vector is dripped into lungs through the thin tube inserted in the nose. So through the nose and the tube, the vector is being inserted into the body of the diseased person. Then what happens? The diseased person reach the lungs. In the what happens is cystic fibrosis, mainly the affected organ is the lungs. Okay, so what happens when the virus enters the lung cells, lung nucleus, and the lung cell and nucleus? Okay, the normal gene inserted into the lung cell DNA by the virus. What happens? This particular corrected gene is being introduced into the nucleus of the cells, and the cells now with normal gene functions is occurring. So as you have inserted the corrected gene into the genome of the particular cell, so the cell will grow now correctly, and the disease will be cured. Okay. Now, vectors in gene therapy, different type of vectors are used, like your cationic polymer, dendrimer, CP peptide uptake, and biological activity. That means how you can enter the gene. You can do it through viruses. You can do it through cationic polymer, dendrimers, CP peptides, liposomes. These are different type of factors. These are the different type of These are different type of methods by you can enter the particular gene into the cell. To transfer to the desired gene was done by the vectors. Two main vectors are used: viral vector and non-viral vector. Now the viral vectors or the retrovirus vectors, they carry less than, see, these things are known to you because you have read about the vectors in your last classes. So the size is less than 3.4 kb, replication defective virus particle, target cell dividing. See, this is a healthy gene being introduced in the RNA, that is the retrovirus, and this retroviruses are being infected into the cells, and the retrovirus breaks down and the corrected gene is being introduced into the main gene of the cell, that is the diseased person, and this will lead to the finally, the healthy gene will produce lots of more healthy gene, and in this way you can cure a particular disease by using retrovirus vector. Now, another type of viral vector is the adenovirus vector. The adenovirus with DNA genome is a good vector. Target non-dividing human cells. But see, in retrovirus, you are targeting dividing cells, but in uh, adenovirus, you are targeting non-dividing cells. This is a diagram. This is a vector bind to cell membrane. Now, this is the inside of the modified gene. That means the corrected gene. It is being inserted into the vector is packaged. That means the DNA of your interest is present inside the adenovirus vector. And when they are infecting the cells, they are entering the cell and they're releasing the gene into the surface of the cells, and the cells, this is the how it is landing on the surface. This is say like your coronavirus also, they are getting attached to our body and they're trying to penetrate your body through your nose, ears, or all your open sense organs. So the gene therapy using adenovirus vector, so they are entering the cells. Okay. So the next one is the adeno-associated virus vector. It is a human virus that integrates into chromosome 19, non-pathogenic small DNA virus, and AAV enters host cell, becomes double-stranded and gets integrated. Now the next one is the Harplex simplex virus. Here what is happening, they infect and persist in nervous cell. Virus have natural tendency to infect a particular type of cells. So the virus is capable of um, uh, the virus is capable of infecting and the curing the particular disease. Okay. Now the next is the non-viral vector system. Pure DNA construct, direct introduction of pure DNA construct into target tissue. That means DNA is directly enter the cell without any vector. And lipoplexes, these are the type of okay. Uh, just a minute. Okay, resuming our discussion, what is happening in non-viral vectors? Some of the liposomes are used for the construction of a particular or the delivery of a particular gene. Okay. Now, the next example of non-viral vectors are DNA molecular conjugates, human artificial chromosomes. So these are the examples where there is no use of any virus and your gene can enter the particular type of viruses. Okay. So next is the methods of gene delivery. How a gene can be delivered into a particular type of a organism. Okay. Gene gun, micro injection, employs a high pressure delivery system to shoot tissue with gold tungsten particle. What happens? This type of a gun, it is shooting the particular type of a cell into the DNA into the particular type of a cell. And micro injection, when you are using some micro pipette to insert the gene into the particular nucleus. Okay. Now the next variety is using these are the chemical methods using detergent mixture like calcium phosphate. All this type of chemicals are used, which are chemical which can disrupt the cell membrane and cause the DNA to enter. Liposuction is a technique used to inject genetic material into a cell by liposome So liposome is also responsible for the transfer of gene into the body. And other types of gene therapies are gene augmentation therapy, most common form of gene therapy. Okay, then replacement of defective p53 gene by a normal one in liver cancer. Okay, gene inhibition therapy done to block the overproduction of some proteins. Now, the two types of are there: antigen and antisense therapy. So, gene inhibition therapy means you are blocking the function of a particular type of a protein. Okay, so antigen or antisense type of a material is used to silence the particular type. Now, what are the disadvantages? Long lasting therapy is not achieved by gene therapy. Okay, so the benefits we are getting from the gene therapy treated patient is short lived. That means after a few while the patient gets infected again. Immune response to the transferred gene stimulates the potential risk to gene therapy, and viruses used as vectors from gene transfer may cause toxicity. Immune response. Okay, we got some network related problems. So what are the disadvantage? Viruses used as vectors for gene transfer can cause toxicity. Okay, so the method you are using to treat the patient, like your some type of um, vectors which are also responsible for causing another infection. So this type of disadvantage, we get disorder caused by the defects in multiple gene cannot be treated effectively using gene therapy. So some disorders can also cause not due to a particular gene but due to different type of multiple genes, isn't it? So this type of gene therapy are not the gene therapy is not that effective to solve the problem. So this type of disorders are known as your this type of diseases which are caused by multiple genes cannot be cured by the your gene therapy. Now coming to the advantages, gene therapy has the potential to cure cystic fibrosis, ADA, SCID, all these diseases we have already known. This particular type of your gene therapy is capable of curing it. It is a possible cure for heart disease, AIDS, cancer, somewhat born with genetic disease. Disease can also be cured, eradicate disease from the future. So this type of gene therapy is capable of curing many type of diseases, but everything comes with some flaws. So disadvantage is also there with the advantages. Okay, so there are some ethical issues again related to it. Who will have access to therapy? Then as you are manipulating the human gene, some people has some bioethics people will be against it. They are used because you are always manipulating the development of the humans. So now concluding our today's lecture, uh, what are the points we need to remember? Gene therapy is the permanent solution for genetic diseases, but it has several complexities. A breakthrough may come anytime and a day may come when they are all cure for all diseases will be there. Now gene therapy have the potential to revolutionize the practice of medicine. Now gene therapy can is a big discovery because you can introduction of gene can cause the particular uh, improvement of the cell. So it is very important in that perspective. But overall problems are always there. Scientists are always working to rectify those problems, but the invention of gene therapy has surely killed or cured different type of diseases uh, from where the future generation as well as the person suffering are very much in a detrimental condition. So gene therapy is successful in curing this all type of diseases. Okay, so now these recent developments, a new gene therapy method in 2012, treatment for a common for color blindness. Your not color blindness, common form of blindness is occurring due to X-linked genes, and that is cured by gene therapy. Now, another gene called NLX P10, which is responsible for the disease of the Parkinson's disease. So the gene therapy has been done to cure Parkinson's disease, and it is under human trial in 2011. Okay, so this is all about your gene therapy. Hopefully you have understood some, you have got some idea about gene therapy, how they are able to cure many different diseases, and how their different application has led to eradication of some very much important diseases like Parkinson's disease, AIDS, your SCID, then your cystic fibrosis. All these type of diseases are being continuously cured when gene therapy is being involved. Now, gene therapy also comes with some disadvantage, but scientists are continuously studying in the labs to address those problems. They are trying to solve the problem as much as possible. Okay, so we are ending today's lecture.